So, what were you saying about not having fun?
I'm done having fun. I'm done having fun. I had so much fun in my 20s. So much fun with so many men. Too much fun, honestly. I think I, reached the fun limit. But I'm serious about dating. I'm in my 30s. I have a plan. I have a time frame. I have deadlines.
Right.
I want a baby in a year. I just froze my eggs. I want a ring in 9 months, and I want to be married a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So I'm looking for someone who is at that level.
Well,
and is willing to meet me at that level.
For sure. This is our first date, so
yeah,
I feel
know.
Like
that's why I'm being crystal clear, because so many men look just like you have just wasted years of my life, and I'm so sick of it, and I'm not going to let it happen.
Well, I thought you were trying to have fun, so it's
no, I'm not having fun. I'm done having
fun.
Right,
you're done with fun now, but before.
I had so much fun.
Yeah, that much is clear.
With a lot of men.
Yeah, I'm picturing a lot of things
and
right now.
And I don't need to do it anymore. And honestly, you're really not my type. My friend told me to go out with you, and because she seems like you're the type that wants to settle down. So
okay.
Normally I don't go for you, but I feel like maybe you're at the same place in your life and my life.
I don't know. This might not be
The level of disrespect in this video is crazy. First of all, she said, I normally don't go for you, but my friend, I'm basically doing it for my friend because you seem like the type of settle down. All right, that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it, we're going to break this down segment by segment by segment. The worst of this is when she said that she's had so much fun. First, she said she had so much fun with so many men. Then she said it's so many men that wasted her time. Well, which one is it? Did you have a whole lot of fun, or did a lot of guys waste your time? But we already know the answer to that. Basically, what she's communicating in so many words, and the only reason that she feels compelled to be this honest with this guy is because he's the guy that she could possibly settle for. Not settle down with, settle for. Think about that for a second. Because everybody got the best of her. And then now she's going to sit here. And these are the type of women that'll come online, that'll make a TikTok account, that'll make an Instagram account, that'll have a YouTube, and they'll be sitting here telling you about how there's no good men, where are all the good men at, why are they over here wasting our time, she's ready to settle down. Meanwhile, what they won't tell you is what happened in their past that prevented them from being able to be with the guy that they're supposed to be with in the first place. So basically, here's the formula for most women. Don't matter if they white, don't matter if they black. This is the formula. Slut it out in your late teens, maybe even mid-teens, depending on how you move it in high school, and slut it out in college, slut it out in your early 20s, slut it out in your mid-20s, maybe slut it out even more in your 30s. Then slut it out while you're waiting for the person that you're supposed to be with. Meanwhile, now you got more standards. And this is applicable regardless of whether or not you have children or you don't have children, right? Because when they get to the point to where they're talking about how they freezing their eggs and stuff like that, we already know that they didn't been slutted out. Possibly even deleted a baby or two as a form of contraception because my body, my choice, right? Then they want to come on and they say, you know what? I'm ready to settle down. Now, where I'm from and the family that I was raised in, marriage was reserved for women that have not been slutted out. The only time that my family advocated for a woman to get married, and this is for like a woman that came in a church or, you know what I'm saying, a friend of a friend or whatever, they just wanted some advice. The only time that my family ever gave advice for a woman that she needs to settle down is if she's involved and she's out here having relations. Now, remember, my family is old school, so we're a little bit different, but I think that traditional values should absolutely be applicable in today's time, even though it won't be. But basically saying, hey, you need to chill out. And if you're going to be around us, this is what the advice that they would give. If you're going to be around us, if you're going to be a representation of us, if you're going to be hanging with us, and if you want us to be able to take you seriously, then you're going to have to stop sleeping around. That is the standard. That is how my family always talked to women that would come around. The standard for women in my family had always been, listen, If he's good enough to sleep with, he's good enough to marry, because we not going to sit here and take no chances with you having no baby out of wedlock. That was just the way that it is, right? The guys, don't bring no babies home, all of this other type of stuff. So we always had standards, but this was never a thing. This is relatively new. You know what I'm saying? A new phenomenon of women telling on themselves. I mean, they've always been this way. The game is the same. The game don't ever change. But women telling on themselves and having a conversation about what they did in their past, and they're open to it because most of the time, most guys, a lot of simps are still going. We've seen them. Those are the type of guys that waited for her in high school or admired her in high school. And then all of the dope boys and all of the different guys, they got a hold of her and they took everything from her. She's drained. She's drained of her aura. She's drained of her youth. She's drained of her womb. She's drained of all of the great things that make a woman a woman. And so everybody has used her every in which way. They then turned her out, turned her inside out. And now you see her as still as the woman because you wasn't in the room when she was doing it, busting it down for a real one. And so you see her as a woman still of your dreams, and she's still beautiful to you, even though she's just a rag to everybody else. And so you say one man's trash is another man's treasure, and then you go ahead and take on her kids. In this instance, this woman don't feel compelled to lie at all. She's not even lying on camera. What she basically telling him is, I don't really care because if you're going to take me, you're going to take me. If not, then not. Then everybody done hit it in town and it's not really that big of a deal. And I'm glad that he's capturing this on camera because a lot of women are trying to figure out why guys. Because women will come on, they'll get these femininity coaches, they'll go into some therapists, and then some lady will come on and say, why aren't guys getting with these girls? It's so many good girls that are looking to settle down. And then they name all of the stuff that don't matter to us. She has this kind of great career. She's, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. We care about whether or not you're a good person, whether or not you're a person that we can work with, just like a job, if you're a cultural fit, if you have a level of femininity that allow for a man to lead, and then more importantly, if your youth, your aura, and your womb hasn't been absolutely destroyed. Those are primarily, not the only, but primarily the basis for whether or not a person is good enough to actually take serious. And most of the women, they act just like this. They're not as forthcoming. They are online. And this is another reason why I say that guys have to start being more strategic. Even go on and check their social media before you decide to interact with them. But nowadays, they're more forthcoming. But traditionally, you had to kind of sort of vet through them a little bit more, be around them in times where you don't really show any interest in them so you can see how they really operate and the things that they would say outside of, or whether or not they was not around you. When they get too comfortable, you let them talk. You let them get it. You don't even have to grill them. You just let them talk. Let them try to say what it is that they say. Let them reveal themselves, and then they'll tell you exactly who they are. My point is that it's unfortunate because there are no rules for the men that they like. But the men that they like often at times is not interested in wifing them up because they've already, figured out who they were and they slotted them accordingly. But then a lot of times there are rules for guys that they are looking to settle down with. Settle is the key word. There are rules for guys that they're looking to settle down with because they only put standards on guys that they don't necessarily care for, but that they're willing to have a child with, that's willing to take them at their worst, because that's when they feel like they're at their best, in which they can start setting rules for guys that they want to be with. And that's unfortunate. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Always like to link back to the content creator, regardless of whether or not I agree with them or not. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And it is a sad state of affairs of what we witnessing in the culture today.